Welcome back to Tech Stack. In this video, we'll dive into the Angular 20 project structure and break down which files matter the most and what each one is used for. Let's start with the package.json file. It includes a script section that defines shortcut commands you can run using npm. In the package.json file, you'll see two sections, dependencies and dev dependencies. Dependencies are the packages required for your application to run in production. These include Angular core libraries and any other third-party tools your app needs when it's live. Dev dependencies are only needed during development. These include tools like testing libraries, linters, and build tools. Anything that helps you write, test, or build the app, but isn't required by the app when it runs in production. Next, we have the angular.json file. This is one of the core configuration files in an Angular project. You can also think of it as an architectural file because it defines how your application is structured and built. Although it contains all the configuration settings for building and running the project, these configuration files themselves are not included in the final build and do not impact the build size. Next, we have the tsconfig.json file. This file contains the compiler settings for TypeScript in your Angular project. Next is the public folder. It contains images and other static asset files such as icons, fonts, and JSON files. Next, we have the src folder, which contains all the core files of your Angular application. One important file here is index.html. Since Angular is a single-page application, SPA, this index.html file serves as the main entry point. Inside the body tag, you'll find the app route tag. This is where the entire Angular application gets loaded dynamically. All components and views are injected inside this route tag by Angular at runtime. Next is the main.ts file. This file is the execution point or starting point of the Angular application. The main.ts file is registered as the entry point in the angular.json file. Next, we have a styles.css file. This is the global CSS file for your Angular application. Any styles defined here are applied globally across all components, unless they are overridden by component-specific styles. In the main.ts file, you'll see references to app and app.config. One of the major changes in Angular 20 is related to component file naming. Previously, every component file included the word component in its name. For example, app.component.html, app.component.ts, and so on. But now, Angular 20 allows you to skip the component keyword in file names. So instead of app.component.ts, you can simply name it app.ts, app.html, and app.css. This change helps make file names shorter and cleaner, while still keeping everything organized. Next, let's look at the app.config.ts file. This file plays an important role in Angular's standalone application structure, introduced in recent versions. Inside this file, you'll find the provider's array. Its purpose is to register services and global dependencies for the application. Next, we have the app.routes.ts file. Since Angular is a single-page application, SPA, framework, we use routing to handle page-based navigation within the app, instead of loading a new HTML page for each view. The app.routes.ts file defines all the routes for your application. In the package.json file, the Angular router package is installed by default. This means you don't need to install it manually. It comes pre-included when you create a new Angular project. Now, go to the terminal and run the project using the command ngserve. This will compile your Angular application and start a local development server. Once it's running, you can open the app in your browser. Perfect. The project is running successfully on port 4200. All the data you see on the screen is currently coming from the app component, which serves as the root component of the Angular application. Now, open the app HTML file, remove all the existing HTML code, and replace it with "Welcome to Angular 20." Perfect. The code compiled and ran successfully. Before we move forward, make sure you clearly understand the entire project structure. Having a solid grasp of the files and their purposes will help you work more efficiently as you build your Angular application. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe and share.